Laptop is working. Dishwasher is working. Electric jug is working. Television is working. 3 tablets are working. And you tell me the God that is making inanimate objects to work. At the sound of your amen. At the sound of your amen. Thank you, Lord.
This clipper has not worked for 2 years now. You see how he's rotting. Like he's rotting. As Papa was saying it, I just said I should check it too. I said I should check it too. Papa, look at it. It's working. It has not worked for 2 good years. 2 good. See, it's even rotting that I left it. I left it at home. I checked it this morning. See, it's working.
What God cannot do does not exist. This phone was not working for 1 month. It was water damaged. My daughter got into the shower with it. Oh my word, it started working! And I was like, what God cannot do does not exist.
Hey, see my blender is working. After many years, I got spoiled. My blender is finally working.
Pastor JS is working. I started using this over 4 years. It's working, no.
My blender is working, no. My yam pounder. See how dusty it is because it stopped working since last year and I've abandoned it. Just on Tuesday when the testimonies were going on, I rushed to pick it up and now it's working.
Pastor Jerry, so this promo that is going on, that you just started, and you last night, the lady said, she said she didn't know there's a promo going on in Nsppd. I said, I tapped into the promo. I said my blender must work today. Blender that was showing error code. I sent it to the manufacturer. They fixed the error code, brought it back to me. It keep doing the same thing. I was like, whatever. I just put it in my cabinet. Pastor Jerry, we brought the blender out today. And my mom said, let's do the experiment. The promo experiment. We did the promo experiment. Look at it, Pastor Jerry. Blender is now working. Hey! 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 Shout! Shout! Hey! Even my baby is shouting.
I bought this and then I realized all of a sudden it stopped working. I tried everything possible. It was not working. So I bought a new one. This is the new one I bought. But today, as I was talking to my mom, I said to my mom, let me try it. My mom is my witness. And I put it on. It's working. I screamed. It is working. It is working. This is a miracle testimony. Hey!
Pastor, come and see. See my treadmill. It's working! It is working! It is working! This particular treadmill, the last time I used it was 2017. Was it? Yeah, 2017. And now, it is working! See, it is working!
Hi, Pastor Jerry. My name is Amina from USA, California. I want to testify for mine and Desi's old phone. It stopped working after 3 years ago, and then, so yesterday, when the testimonies were going on, my mom plugged it in to see if it would turn on. Nothing was happening. But then when you came back on, you declared that all inanimate objects would come back on. So then my mom plugged it in, and then the little apple showed. And then it started working, and it started charging. So it's all full right now. What God cannot do does not exist.
Good morning. My name is Ibukun Ajayi. I'm giving this testimony from United Kingdom. Some years ago, I think about 5 years ago in Nigeria, I went for a regular eye checkup, and lo and behold, as they checked my eyes that day, they said that I have glaucoma. And these were top doctors, consultants, eye specialists. So I said, let me just check again. I went to another doctor who also confirmed that yes, there is glaucoma. For years I was on glaucoma medication, very expensive eye drop. I had to take that every night before I sleep, drop it in my eyes. So in 2023, I relocated to the UK, and sometime that year, I went to the glaucoma clinic, and the doctor checked my eyes and said, yes, I have glaucoma. I should continue with the medication. So I continued for years. So this was like almost 4 years of being on glaucoma medication. Last year, precisely 24th of October last year. So that morning, I just joined the prayers, and for the very first time I said, let me just have a full concentration on this prayer today. So I just used an earpiece to my ears. I didn't want any distractions, because that day I had an appointment in the afternoon at the glaucoma clinic. They mentioned the part of the Bible where Jesus Christ put his hands on the eyes of a blind man.
And Jesus laid hands on the man and asked him what he saw. And the man said, I can see men as trees. I see men as trees. I see men as trees. And Jesus laid hands a second time. And the man said, everything was now perfect. Hear me, whether you have faith or you do not have faith. As your two hands are lifted, I announce, let everything be perfected.
I just said, okay, I don't need to wait for glaucoma. Let me just receive this as my Rhema word. And I kept saying, it is done, it is done, it is done. So after the prayers in the afternoon, I went to the glaucoma clinic, and they examined my eyes. So they now said I should go and see the main doctor, the specialist himself. So I went there. He examined my eyes himself. After examining the eyes, he said I should go back to the former office. Let them check me again. So they checked me there. I came back to him. So I kept wondering why he was like tossing me around. So after some time, he looked at me and said, did they tell you that you have glaucoma? I said, yes. I said, for years now. I said, well, but I can't see any glaucoma in your eyes. I was like, really? He said, yes. In my mind, I was like, of course, you won't see it. So he now said, I should go back. I should come back in 2 months' time. So I went back home rejoicing, knowing that God has done it. So 2 months' time, in fact 3 months' time, I gave them extra time. So I just checked into one of these Specsavers here in the UK, and I told them, I said, I'm here for an eye checkup. The last time I saw a glaucoma specialist, they said they can't see any glaucoma, so you guys should check, do your thing, and let me know. So they said, okay. They checked my eyes, checked, and they said, we can't see any glaucoma. We don't think you have glaucoma. So I said, let me just give glory to God. This is the beginning of greater miracles in my life. I know it. And I want to thank Pastor Jerry Eze for always saying that thing we just saw before, they won't see it again.
My name is Olawale Rufai. So I'm giving this testimony from Abuja. To start with, I am a born Muslim, and to the glory of God, I'm a Christian now. So for all those customers, for all those people that have asked, I thought you're a Muslim, why are you sharing Nsppd link? And I'll tell them, I'm an Islamic Nsppd. I'm no more an Islamic Nsppd. I'm a full Christian now. Since 2021 to date, we've remained very strong on the altar. We've had some series of sicknesses, or we like call them afflictions, in this family. When Satan tried my wife with ovarian cancer, at the same time we were battling hole in the heart, but all those are bygone now, to the glory of God. And then secondly, the ailment started in 2019. The devil came with something on my wife's leg, a back knee, at the back of her leg. There was this something very reddish, dark in color. And then I sent the picture of it to a doctor friend, and then she was like, if this is what I'm thinking, this is a very serious issue. This should be acute limb ischemia. I was like, acute limb ischemia again. She said I should go to hospital. Before we went to hospital, I came back home that night when she said this is a very serious issue. I decided to pray, oh Lord, show me mercy. I entered YouTube, and then I was to search for oh Lord, show me mercy, or Nsppd. Then as I entered YouTube, I refreshed. One particular oh Lord, show me mercy was the one that remained stagnant, and the thing refused to refresh. And something just told me, say you are looking for an oh Lord, show me mercy. Must it be a particular one? This one too that is here is an oh Lord, show me mercy. Just pick this one. So that was the one I picked. while I was praying, I heard Pastor Jerry declared. This was a past mercy prayer though. And then I heard limb ischemia.
I hear limb ischemia. I hear limb ischemia. I hear limb ischemia. The devil is a liar. I announce, let it be reversed.
I say, yes, it is done. But something I forgot to mention, a leg that before we left the plaza, if you just touch like this, my wife would scream and jump. I pressed the leg. She wasn't feeling anything. So the last testimony, long before my wife went for a scan, she's been having this sharp pain by her right chest. We thought was the ulcer pain. We didn't know it was something else. So she went for a scan this time. And then the doctor said there were stones in her gallbladder. And he would have advised that we use medication. But there is this very one among those stones that is very big, that one cannot be flushed, that he will advise immediate surgery. And then I was like, devil has come again. But no problem. I know the altar that I belong to. During Pastor Jerry's birthday, you know, people always say, during Pastor Jerry's birthday, repeat your scan. And then she went. So the doctor asked her, did you do a proper scan or they just... So the doctor asked her, did you do a proper scan or they just gave you a report? She said she did a proper scan. Do you have the film? She said yes, she has the film. So the doctor requested for it. She went to the car and gave it to her. So the doctor was like, if there was no film to this, I would have said the person who scanned you before made a mistake. But with what I can see that big stone here. Look at it here, madam. This must be God. So it is only God who removed those stones since that day till today. I'm joining the millions of Nsppdians across the globe to say, may the oil on your head never run dry, sir. We dey pray, we dey show. Pastor Jerry, please, I've waited till this very time. I told myself, I'm not buying myself a personal Bible. Pastor Jerry, please, I want to beg for a Bible from you, sir.
What my God cannot do does not exist. I'm here to thank God for bringing my mom back to life. It happened last year. Last year, my mother's brother died. They are still making arrangements for the burial. Within a space of a month, the second brother died. So it's now in my mother's own side, it's remaining only her now. So people start calling because there my mom is in the UK. You know, she came to the UK to rest. So people start calling my siblings. People start saying, oh, there are still more deaths. More deaths are coming. That they are dreaming of dreams of death. I told them, see, I belong to the altar of fire. That as far as my mom is in my house, the altar of fire is covering her. She will never die. She will never die in my hand. Even if I don't have faith, my papa's faith will cover her. She will never die in my hand. My house is not a house of death. That fateful day, it was Nsppd US conference. That day we came back from work. Me and my husband, we went to my mom's room. We started chatting with her. We discussed with her. She was now telling us her experience here and back in Nigeria, you know. I said, oh, Mom, I am going in now to my room to listen to Nsppd US conference and I don't want to miss a beat. She now said, oh, tomorrow is Sunday. I said, yeah, tomorrow is Sunday. I'm going to go to work tomorrow being Sunday because I have bills to pay. She said, okay, if I want to go, that she's going to church. She get up from her bed. I took her to the door. I opened the door. I showed her how to open the door. I gave her the key. I said, this key, put it inside your church bag. I don't want you to miss it. She said, okay. So I don't know what tapped me. I said, look at her face. I look at her face. I said, Mom, your face, I don't like it. How is your face changing like this? She said, I know, I rushed her. She now fell on me. Imagine she fell on me. She breathed 3 times. What, as in, she just said, she packed. Everything packed. You know, I was shouting, Mommy, Mom. She wasn't answering. Everything gone. I dilated very fast. As this is the fastest death I've ever seen. I was like, what is going on? I screamed. My husband jumped out from the room and helped me and carry her down. So we are calling her, we are crying, we don't know what to do, we are just confused, we are running around. My husband said, okay, go and bring the food, let us call emergency or ambulance so that we can take her to hospital. I can't even remember where my phone is again. You know, when I now finally remember that, oh, my phone is inside the room and it's on Nsppd US conference. So I jump into the room. When I jump into the door, I don't know a hand that just blocked me like this. The hand was like, why are you running around just for negativity? Why are you running around for every emergency? You don't know the altar you belong to. Go back there. Go back to that body and speak to that body. You can do that. You are a child of fire. I didn't even bring my phone again. I left my phone. My mother was like, where is the phone now? I didn't even answer. I wanted my mother's body because when she died in my body, I said, my mother has died in my hand. I was crying. I said, what will I say? How will I tell people what happened? God, you know, I was just saying things, you know. That voice said, go back to that body and reverse all those negative words you said. I went to the body. I said, Mommy, you cannot die in my hand. I belong to the altar of fire. Even right now, if my faith cannot carry me, my papa's faith will carry me. See, listen to me. You cannot come all the way from Nigeria with your legs and go back a corpse. It's a lie. Nothing dies in my hand and nothing dies in my house. I was just making the connection. So after that, she's still there. Nothing happened. So I started hitting the floor. I said, oh, Earth, oh, UK land, you will not take my mom. I cannot tell the world how it happened. What happened? I cannot answer that question. Look at you, oh, Earth, you will not take my mother. I was screaming and shouting. I screamed to the point that my ears were affected. My ears were paining me because I was screaming on top of my voice. So along the line, I had a little voice said, Dab, kedi na shout. You know, that voice was still tiny. I said, I was still screaming. She now said, kedi na shout. Gabriel, just shout to Zilla. My husband said, she has wake up, she has wake up, she has wake up. I was like, she has wake up. No, so miracle they happen. I went to her, I said, Mom? She said, yes. Why are you shouting? She said, she want to lie down. I said, you don't know where you are. She said, is it not on her bed? I said, you're not on your bed. She was like, She now looked, I said, oh, she's on the ground. I said, so you don't know what happened? All the drama that is happening. She says, no, the only thing she can remember is when I called her to open the door and gave her the key. That's the only thing she remembers. She don't remember any other thing. The only thing she had after that is my voice. That my voice was so noisy. It was screaming. So she had to like look back and say, why is my daughter shouting? That's the only thing. She had to like ask that question. Why is she shouting? That's the only thing she can remember and say. I was like, God. You know, when people are giving testimony on the altar of fire, you will not understand it until it happens to you. So I'm here today to thank God for revising her.
What God cannot do. My name is Abatunde and I came from Zaria. I'm a military officer. The devil is a bastard. I say again, the devil is a bastard. I had a Muslim background, and when I was still growing up, the Lord arrested me and I found myself in the kingdom. I continued this way until I joined the military. I got married. I have lived a very fervent life. 12 years after, I started having problem with my spiritual life. And before I knew it, everything crumbled. And I suffered this for good 10 years. The devil was able to hold himself captive, not me, for 10 good years. In the course of these 10 years, I almost lost my life. His plan was to claim my life in the process. While I was at the battlefield, I escaped death. I had gunshot wounds on my both legs. But God blessed me with this woman, a lovable woman, my partner, my helpmate, my mother, my sister, my friend. She has always been on her knees. And she said one thing. She said, babe, if God has not given up on you, then I will not give up on you. She continued praying. And as God will have it, in 2022, I had a spine surgery. I was admitted at 44 Reference Hospital. That was on the 1st of June, the surgery was conducted. Then, in the month of October, same year, my classmates, well, 4 of them, they came to see me at the hospital. Then one of them came with his wife. The wife, when she was about going, she said, Oga, there is a link I'll give you. Just key into that link, and I'm sure Daddy will mention your case. I never understood what she was talking about. I collected it. She sent the link to me. For some time, I didn't open the link. Then in the month of November, I opened the link towards the middle of November. I opened it for like 2 times. I logged out. Then towards the end of November, the Spirit kept pounding me. Open that link. And I opened the link towards the end of November. Before I knew it, first day, second day, third day, before I realized it, I became glued to the link. To the extent in the hospital, they knew it. Once it's 7 a.m., you don't open my door. I will not open it until I finish with the altar. Then, so in December, I traveled to Owerri to see my family. Then I came back in January. When I came back in January, the fasting had begun. I started the fasting, 2023. Day 1, day 2. I will follow the prayers in the evening, follow the altar in the morning, like that. On this day, the 21st day of the fast, today being the 21st of the fast, is my anniversary. And I was somewhere at that corner, and Papa was saying, the person that started this prayer is not the one finishing it.
Do you know that the man that started this prayer is not the man that has ended it right now? Raise your voice and give the Lord a loud shout.
And I felt something lifted off me, boom, that day. And before I knew it, I started firing different tongues. And before I knew it, I became a changed person. I felt very light. When I left the service that evening, I called my wife. When she said hello, I started firing tongues. My wife was just crying. She said, God, thank you. God, thank you. I told her, I said, Mama, God has done it again. I am liberated. Because it was like a spell. I didn't know where it came from. That wasn't me. And before I knew it, I became a changed person. I told her, take out the wine in the fridge. Celebrate with the children. Pour the wine. I said, because it's a rebirth. And the Spirit told me, celebrate yourself because the angels are celebrating you. And that was how I got home. I opened my own wine and I celebrated myself. Why do I celebrate me in Owerri and the angels are celebrating me in heaven? It didn't stop there. After that prayers, after the fasting in that January, I went back to the hospital because I was not yet discharged. While in the hospital, around May or thereabout, there was a time the governor was saying they should demolish some buildings. And one of the nurses taking care of me, she has a building in that area with her husband. And my wife had come to Kaduna that time. She now said, Mama, they are breaking down the houses. And they've destroyed about 5 houses before our own. So it's just about 1 more before our own. And the Spirit said, prophesy. Initially, I was scared. What if I say it and it didn't happen? The Spirit said, open your mouth, prophesy. Then I collected the phone. I said, I stepped into the shoe of my father in the Lord. And I mentioned Papa's name. And I said, I connect into his calling. They will not touch your house. That was the pronouncement I made. I made that prophetic declaration. And I lied on my bed. I faced the wall. I continued sleeping. She called back again. They brought out the next house before our own. It's just our own remaining now. I told my wife, tell her the exemption has taken care of it. That she has been exempted. Before you know it later, she called back and said, Mama, they've jumped my house. That is our building standing. Along that line, they finished the building before our own, they skipped our own, and continued with the next ones again. The devil is a bastard. This is what the devil saw in me and decided to rubbish himself. And God has brought me back to the altar. My wife normally makes one statement. She said, have you seen where this mesuya, they put nama on the fire? Have you seen fly perching on it? I said, no. He said, you can't be on the altar and the devil will mess around with you. I offered myself as a living sacrifice on the altar of fire, and I remain God's own, never to go back again, because he has connected me and I remain in him forever. What God cannot do. Thank you, Jesus.
Somebody celebrate a Lord. Celebrate a Lord. Celebrate a Lord. As you celebrate it, be carrying your own testimony. Celebrate a Lord. Somebody give the Lord a loud shout.